What I have here beside me is the Everlast Powercart 330, and I am going to do a step-by-step instructional video on how to put this thing together. Let's get started. Starting off, make sure you have these tools in front of you: a Phillips head screwdriver, adjustable wrench, 8mm, 10mm, 13mm wrench and socket. I will also be using the impact here just to make things a little faster. Receive your Powercart 330, you want to make sure your shipping labels are facing up and the box flat on the ground. When you open this up, you're going to have a few layers of cardboard where it is double packaged. On the inside of this, now as you can see, everything is wrapped in bubble wrap and fully protected where nothing is scratched, scarred, or beaten. What we want to do is get all this pulled out and everything laid out so we can see what we have. Okay, starting out, I should have mentioned you are going to need some grease for the wheel bearings. These do come in dry, so you're going to need to grease those up. I'm using Molly EP, but use the grease that you prefer. Now, I had a bunch of little bins laying around, so this is why I have this laid out like that. But your M6, the long bolts here, the washers, and the nylon lock nuts are all going to go together. Then you have a bunch of M5s that have a lock washer and washer already on it. You're going to have your bigger washers for your axle, some pins, your M8s right here. You're going to have washers and nuts that go to that. There are 4 of each of the nut and washer. You'll see why here shortly. Then you're going to have a couple little random smaller Phillips head cap screws. So make sure you put them separate. Those are going to be needed last. So let's go ahead and see what else we've got. Here, I've already laid out all the parts. I try to lay them out in an orderly fashion to where getting to my parts needed is easier. But what we're going to start off with first is this base right here. This is where your wheels and axle are going to go. So let's go ahead and start building on this. We're going to need to build the base. Starting off is going to be the large washers, the pins, the M8 bolts and nuts, 13mm wrench, and also a 13mm socket. You're going to have 2 brackets here for the axle. I have some rubber gloves for the grease. We are going to grease these up first, get that mess out of the way, and then also your casters. Let's go ahead and get going on that. I'm going to go ahead and get these bearings greased up first thing so I don't have to worry about that in the middle of what I'm doing. I do like using gloves for this nasty mess, but it is one of those things you gotta do. This way I don't have to wash my hands in between everything. But simply just take your big old nice glob of this, put it down in those bearings, and really get down in there and rub it in. Next up is we're going to install our casters with our M8 bolts. This is going to be a 13mm wrench, socket, or even a number 3 Phillips head screwdriver. Just remember, finger tighten everything first before you go in and start torquing everything down. Again, I am using my impact for this. Next, what we're going to do is get the back wheels installed with the axle. You're going to need 2 of these little brackets right here for the axle. Your wheels, the M8 nuts, bolts, and washers. There should be plenty enough there to do that. You're going to want to pick the end of this up and have something cradling it. And also you want to make sure that your bolt is going from underneath out. So you want your nut facing the bottom of the pan. This is where you're also going to want your 13mm socket and your 13mm wrench. You're going to reach up under here, hold one end while you tighten the other. The next step what we're going to do is get our axle and rear wheels installed. You're going to have these little sleeves that are on the axle. Go ahead and pull those off. You're going to simply slide the axle all the way through. There are going to be 2 holes that you want to line up on the inside of your mounting brackets. You're going to take 2 pins. You're going to put one on one side, one on the other. Now then, there's going to be 1 hole closest to this bracket. You want to go ahead and add a pin there as well on both sides. Now, this is where you're going to want to go ahead and take 4 washers, slide up against that pin on one side, 4 washers on the other side. There is a reason for this, is given that spacing for the wheels to put them out far enough. So now we are going to take one of these wheels and also one of these bushings here, slide that in, pick up on the axle, push everything together. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Take this bushing, slide it through the wheel with the bearings, pick it up, slide it in. Now, here's where you're going to take 2 washers, place it right here up against the axle with another pin. And you're going to do this on both sides. I guess I should have left them gloves on. It's all right. And after you do this, we will set this to the side. This is now complete. We're going to move on to the next step. Now we're going to go ahead and build the box that sits on top of the base with the wheels. These are the pieces you're going to need. This is going to be one side panel. There is a matching panel. Just make sure you have them facing the right direction. And what that's going to look like, the lips will be on the inside. And then you're going to have this rear panel here. And you want your lip facing away from you when you build this. And then also this is going to be your M5 bolts here. So make sure you got those on hand. A Phillips head screwdriver and an 8mm socket. Now, when we put this together, make sure you do not tighten everything at all. Just put everything in there kind of loose with the Phillips head. And then when we put this on the base, we'll go around and tighten everything up just to make sure everything does fit good and square. So the best way to do this, hold this side up, put this panel here. And on the back side, there's going to be 3 holes for you to put your bolts. So you want to go ahead, get that stationary. And I'm just going to put one on the top and one on the bottom for now, just to kind of hold it in place. And I use my Phillips head to help get it started. Let's flip this over. Set these items to the side. I'm going to grab 2 more. Set this end up. Now this lip on this back panel is going to sit on top of this panel here, so please be mindful of that. All right, the next panel we're going to need is going to be the top, and what you're going to notice, one end is going to have a bend on it where the other one is flat. Flat end is going to go towards this back panel, and it's going to slide under the fold on this back panel. So we'll gently set that down there. You're going to want to slide this back until your screw holes here line up. Just like so. What I'm going to do, since that one's lined up, is go ahead and put a screw down in there, like so. Do the same thing with the back side. Again, I am not tightening everything up as I go. I want to be able to do that at the end. So let's go ahead and get all the screws put exactly where they need to be. Next, we're going to be adding the front panel to this. Very simple. It is a hinged piece. Looks just like this. Again, the 90 here is going to go on top of this panel, just like so. But before we get there, it did come with a little plastic drawer. I want you to open this up. And inside of this is going to be a little plastic latch. And we're going to go ahead and put that latch on here. It's just simply slide it up and then insert it. Simple as that. It is spring loaded, so the only reason I'm doing that is just to help keep things stable while we're putting this together. So you're going to sit this right up on top of there, pull that latch down, and it locks it in place. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 same M5 bolts that you're going to put right here. Now that I have all my hardware installed for this box, everything is loose. So what I'm going to do now is take my 8mm socket, go around and tighten everything up. Now that everything's tightened up, I'll give you a quick walk around. But this plastic container, I'm going to wait till this is actually bolted to the cart before I put this on. It's just to give me a little handle area to grab a hold and move this thing around. So let me give you a quick look around what that looks like. Again, here's that door for all your storage needs. Pretty neat. So this is what this looks like. You'll have 4 M5 bolts in the front. Then you have 6 on the top. Then you're going to have 6 in the bottom. Everything does line up perfectly, so you should not be struggling at all. Next step, what I'm going to do is go ahead and add the side rails to it while this is up on the table before I lay it down on the cart. Right here are your side rails. Be mindful, there is a left and a right. You can see the curve in this one here, and the other one has a curve there. So I'm going to get one of these, and we're going to go ahead and install it on the box. All right, I got the box flipped over on its side, and I have the side rail here. I just want you to be mindful. There's going to be some holes really close to the bottom edge. These are not the ones you want. You're going to have holes above that there and right there. Those are going to be the ones that you want to start with. So I have the handrail here, and as you can see, the curve to this is going to be facing the front of the box, and we are still going to be using our M5 bolts for this. So we'll go ahead and get this started and the handrail put on, and I'll go ahead and tighten this down all the way. Now that the side rail is locked down and tight, I'm going to go ahead and add the accessory panel to the side. There are arrows on which way this is supposed to face, so be mindful of that. It's just going to sit right here on top like so. And then you're going to take your M6 long bolts. You're going to use a washer, slide it through the bottom side here. You're going to use another washer, and then your nylon lock nut. And you're going to do that for all 4 holes, and then we'll get this flipped over and do the other side. Now that we have this assembled, we are going to pick it up and put it on the cart and get it bolted down now. Now that we got that put on there, what we have to do now is on the side, there's going to be 1, 2, 3 spots for you to put your M5 bolts in. And it's going to be like that on both sides. We'll go ahead and get them started, and I'll get them tightened down. All right, so it should look just like that on the bottom when you have it bolted in. Let's come around to the front of it. Still got to add that plastic panel here, but this is so cool. Big old storage area for to put any of your products in. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this put together. Next up is we got these brackets for the tank support and the chain holder. It is going to be your M6 bolts, the long ones here. So you're going to do a bolt, a washer, slide it through, washer, then your nylon lock nut. You can go through the inside or the outside, whichever you prefer. Next, what we have left to put on is going to be our torch lead hangers and also our TIG pedal holder as well. I'm not sure the exact name of this thing, but that's what I'm calling it. With this one, be very careful on the bolts you put on. I'm going to show you why here in just a second. Okay, so for the foot pedal holder right here, you're going to have 2 Phillips head screws that are completely flat. These are going to be the ones you're going to need for this, and that is going to go here with these holes. So you're going to have a hole here where that's going to line up on this one, and then this hole here. Now for that little plastic front compartment, go ahead and get you 2 Phillips head screws started. And they're going to look just like this. There should be a total of 4. After you get those started, all you're going to do is where that's grooved, set that down in the grooves. I can't see what I'm doing here. Hold the camera as well. And push it back. Then go in, put your other screws in, and tighten everything down. So right here, we got the 325 EXT all set up on the Powercart 330. Looking good. This thing is durable. It is sturdy. If this is something you're wanting to get into, this is definitely going to be the machine. Then right here, I have the Thunder 255 MTS MIG welder on this one. Again, the only thing on this one, I had to leave this accessory rail off of the side so I can open that door, but that's okay. There's enough room for me to make some new holes to put that accessory rail up here. Got to check it out, guys. So there it is right here. We got the 325 EXT sitting on the Everlast Powercart 330. Then over here we have the Thunder 255 MTS MIG welder sitting on that Powercart 330. Beautiful carts, heavy duty. These things are going to last a long time, especially if you're moving them around your shop a lot or garage. I definitely say check these things out. Hope you enjoyed the build. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for following along.